Hey guys, thanks for checking out Euclid Mining. Today we're going to be talking about Thor Financial, Thor nodes, and the new payout schedule that they just implemented. Now they did one yesterday and they have an updated one today, and we're going to be talking about whether you should or shouldn't be getting into this space. Now this is not financial advice. You do what you got to do. You know what's best for your pocket or pocketbook. I know it's best for mine. So invest wisely and very cautiously. You never know whether this is going to, plummet or go straight up. That's like anything in life. So if you can't afford to lose it, don't invest in it. Okay, that's the advice I could give you today. But there's a lot to unpack, so we're just going to go ahead and jump over here and talk about Thor Financial and what they are. Thor Financial is exactly what it is and what it says. It is a financial institution. This is something where these people are investing in the crypto space, and the better they do with their investments, the more money their coin is worth. The worse they do, their coin is worth less. It's just like the stock market. It's like Berkshire Hathaway. Warren Buffett's involved in that one. You hear about that one a lot. It's a financial firm. And the better investments they do, the higher the stock goes and the worse it goes down. So as you can see, it's very similar. This is just in the crypto space, and they let you become even more involved in it. So let's go ahead and click on this one really quick and show you this, that Assure did a KYC on Thor Financial, and it came back good. Now, what is a KYC? This is where they look into a company. And I will say that they are doing KYC on all the developers and everybody on the team so you can learn more about them. This is background checks, financial checks, criminal checks. This is so you can learn more and feel more comfortable. It's another layer of comfort. And if you can gain enough of those layers, maybe you will want to invest in this, or maybe you won't find enough of those layers and you'll stay away from it. Again, that's going to be up to you. Now, Thor is a clone of Ring. And if you remember Ring had problems. They went downhill. A lot of people lost a lot of money. I read about it. I didn't have anything in it. And I'll tell you, thank God. The biggest problem there was that people didn't know who the people were that were investing the money. They knew them by usernames, but they didn't know the actual people. Here, Thor Financial, which is a hard fork of Ring, and that's where we get Thor, these new development team, they are going through the KYC process, and then that way you'll know who they are. It'll add more layers of comfort or security as you look towards whether you want or not want to invest in here. Now, Thor Financial. Gain passive income by leveraging Thor's financial multi-chain yield farming protocol. And what does that mean? Simply, we invest in different DeFi projects like OHM, Time, staking pools, NFT, and a host of other carefully curated projects. To ensure we live by our community project policy, the selected projects are published within the community for a vote before we initiate the investment protocol. What does that mean? That means that if you have a node of one of the four that they offer, you have a say in what goes on. Now, what I haven't been able to find is how much of a say you do have. Does the board have 51% and the rest of the community has 49%? Or is it more evenly distributed? I haven't found it. If you find it, put it in the comment section below. Excuse me, I just had a little lunch. I would love to see that because I haven't been able to find it, and I'm sure a lot of people would like to know that as well. But overall, when you have a node, you do have a say in what goes on. And so let's go ahead and hop over there and take a look at the nodes. So these are the different nodes that you can pick from. The Heimdall, the Freya, Thor, and Odin. Now each one of those you buy in Thor coin. And I did do a video on this just a couple days ago, but then with all the changes that just happened, I didn't post it. In that video, I showed you how to move money from the Ethereum chain to the Avalanche chain, and then from Avalanche buy Thor, and then from there buy the node. And if you still want to see that video, or I do a little more of an updated one now with everything's changed, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll put one together and I'll get that up for y'all. But for now, with all the changes that were made, I thought I'd show you this first, and then you'll make a little more of an informed decision. So let's look at Thor's price for today, and then we'll get into some charts. They're $174. Yesterday and the day before, they were at about 220, 225 at points. If we scroll down, you can you can clearly see where the AMA was yesterday and when they announced the new payout schedule for each node. Very unhappy people. There is no question about that. Let me also say that this video is not for me to come on and just complain and whine about the loss of profit, because I did just get into this, but they did drop it down a little further than I thought they should. And even with the changes they made today to kind of counterbalance what they did yesterday, I still think it should have been a little bit more. But when you look at it as a whole and you're looking for sustainability and you want this project to go on, I do understand why they did it. It's a tough pill to swallow. And that's just really that. So when we look at other prices, we look at a 30-day price chart for Thor, and we look at a 30-day price chart for Bitcoin. So you can see this project is doing well. I mean, when things are going down in this crypto market, and you look at something like Thor going up, even with the drop from today, 30 days, I mean, it's not doing bad at all. Let's look at the payouts. Now, the reason I initially looked at this was because I was a little greedy. Okay, I admit it. But the idea was I was going to buy a Freya node. Now, I did all these numbers with the price point of $200, kind of right in the middle. And initially, a Freya would cost you $1,250. Now, if you bought one, it would take you 49 days to ROI, or ROT, return on Thor, as they call it. It would take you 49 days to get there, and you'd be making $780 a month. Not bad. The idea is like, again, and I use the analogy of stocks, that when you buy stock, you can have it roll over on itself and then buy another share when it has enough money. Same idea here. The idea is that you would buy nodes. So on the 49th day, you would have enough money to roll it over and get your second node. And then on the 74th day, the 91st day, and all the way down to the 143rd day, which is about 5 months, you would have 10 nodes, and all of them combined would be making $7,800 a month for $93,600 a year. And when I did the math and I came up with that number, I thought, wow, $1,200 is going to get me to this number in 5 months. Sign me up. Now, I did know that they were going to be restructuring their payout. I just didn't realize it was going to be as hard as they did it. You could see some of the other ones, 1,200, 7,800, 19, almost 20,000. And here, what are they at? 160,000 for the month if you had 10 Odin nodes. So yeah, kind of crazy. Now, yesterday, during the AMA, they did talk about the new payout, and this is it. So let's jump here, $7,800 a month with 10 nodes. Now we're at $1,860 per month for 10 nodes. Still reputable, still not bad at all. The time to do it at 143 days compared to now 538 days. Okay, so a year and a quarter to get to that point. Okay, but still, in a year and a quarter, you'll be making $1,860. If Thor stays around $200, you'll be making that monthly. And this is a generational thing. This currency, if Thor stays, at some point, I'm going to have to put this in my will to my son. I mean, because this will continue on. And as long as Thor is making something of a profit, this will be paying out. So that's not bad at all. But still a little painful. Now, if I want to get back to the number that I was looking at over here at $7,800, I will need to get a Thor node for $2,500 if it's at $200 per coin. It would be $2,500, and then you would get back up to that number where you'd be making about $100,000 a year. So I am going to push towards this one, and I'm going to work on that while these are compounding. Now, let's go over here, and we will show you that if you have one of these nodes and you want to compound it, you can only compound in each tier that you're in. So I can't keep compounding Heimdall and then use that money to buy a Freya. You only can keep going in the same tier. The only way to cross compound is if you're in God mode. And just like it says down here, you have to have one of each of these to be in God mode, and then you can cross compound and use the money you get from these to buy Odin nodes. So I've got a Heimdall, I have a Freya, and they will continue to compound until they get to their 10th one, and you can let them keep going. You can have up to 100 nodes per wallet. So you can continue to let these compound if you want before you take any money out. As you can see, I do have 1 and 1 here and here. I can claim my money at any point whenever I want to. I can click claim and get my money out. Now there is a fee. There's about 20% fee on that for taking your money out. And the idea is that you're putting this money in so that it can be used for investments. They don't want you taking it right back out. So when you buy these nodes, you actually lose the Thor that you are paying with. It becomes theirs. And then you get paid out in rewards. So it is different from a regular investment where the money would still be there if you ever wanted to take it back out. Here, you are losing that money, but then you get payouts as the reward for giving that money. Now, you can pull them out daily or hourly or as often as there's enough to pull out, and you could do that for a fee, and I accept that fee, and I think that's a very smart thing to do. If you wait until you ROI or ROT on you that, so if I waited till the 63rd day and then I took out the money because I made back my $250, I could take that money out and I get it for a little bit of a lesser fee. They tax you just a little bit less. Now, if I want to roll that over and start a second node, they tax you at a very minimal amount, and you can roll that money over and start the next node. So that's incentive to continue to leave the money and let them use that money toward investing. And again, if you really are behind this project and strongly believe in it, this is something to do. And I am going to do this up to a point. But now we're looking over here, and you can see the investments are much lower and they take much longer, from 180 days to 703 days, 143 to 538 days, 112 to 233. And I'll tell you, that's not that bad. Folks, again, not financial advice, but I got to tell you, this is not bad. For 233 days to accumulate your 10th node to make that money, I think is a very wise thing to do for me in my situation, and I am working towards this. I bought these before they restructured the schedule, and I did that because I was hoping they would grandfather people in, but they didn't. So now that I've spent this money, I do need to work on getting this together and get that. An Odin node now will take 177 days compared to 85 days. And the payout is $75,000 a month compared to $163,000 per month. So like I said, they dropped this about 50%, 50%, 75% and 75% when you look at the two charts. Now I will redo this because they did come out with the reward change. Let's see, this is from yesterday, and this is after the AMA. We have heard the strong community feedback very loudly. We are going to tweak the lower tiers to make them much more fair to the lower Asgardians. We will also be making a report justifying the math behind these reductions, and look to stagger the reward decreases by tier and not across the board. And this is the biggest part of this whole statement, and that everybody should live by this if you want to be involved in this project. We want to have a protocol that works for years, not weeks or months. And that's true. If you want this to continue on, you're going to need to be patient and accept it. Again, this is a hard pill to swallow. I get it. But they did change it. And here we are. So let us pull this over a little bit and show you what we have. And we will start over here because these are the ones that most people are more likely to have, because not everybody has the $2,500. $1,200 was a stretch, but the $250 is something that the average Joe can get in and try. Now I'm going to have to redo my chart. I'll be having a third one now, and let's see. The Heimdall will be 0.008. So they lowered it down to 0.005, and now it'll be 0.008. Okay. They're also adjusting the tax fees for this and node fees. So as you can see, that's not half bad. So if you want to take your money out, this is what it'll cost you in the tax. Now again, if you ROI or ROT, that number changes, and if you roll it over, that changes again. But much better. Now we look at the Freya, and that's the main one that I was going for, and that one was 0.031, and now it's 0.05. All right. Again, I don't want to be greedy, but that one probably could have been 0.6, would have been a little bit happier for people. But you know what? It is what it is, and it's still, like I said, when you look at this, in a year and a quarter, you will be making this money, and I still think that's a reasonable number to make. And you don't even have to get to that point. I mean, you can get down right here. Within the year, you'll be making about $560 a month. If you want to cross over the 441st day, just over a year, and start grabbing $1,000 a month. I mean, you can do it either level you want. You don't have to go to the 10th tier. You can go to the 11th, 12th, and 13th and continue on if you want to just let it keep rolling over. Obviously, it gets faster and faster as you see the tiers, because now you'll have 2 nodes running, then you have 3 nodes getting there. So it does get faster as you have more of them. Let's look at Thor. Thor, go on over there. Thor was 0.144, and Thor now is 0.144. So Thor didn't change. Okay. Odin 1.02, 1.25. All right. So the Odin node did come down. That's about 20% down from what yesterday's was. So they lowered that even a little bit more. The Thor node stayed the same, and these were down 75%. I'm going to have to do a little math on that to figure out how much percentage-wise it's really down right now, but they did raise it a little bit, so it was 75%, so it's not going to be as bad. I am going to have to redo this entire chart, because now with the new payouts, we'll see where we're at. Also, the price is not $200 right now. It was about $175. So there is the income per Himdall node. If you have it at the 175 mark right now, it'd be making $26 a month. If it was at 175 as of the day before yesterday, you would have $105 instead of $26. So as you can see, it is about a 75% drop. So it's quite a little bit. But again, with the new numbers, we're going to see where we're at. We're going to see if that makes a big difference. It will make a difference, and it will help ease the pain for a lot of people, because on the Discord, they sure let them have it. There is no question there. If you do want to get involved in this project, I suggest you get on their Discord and spend a day or 2 or 5 just watching and reading and looking at announcements and trying to understand better where they're going and what it's going to be. It looks like that this payout structure is what it's going to be for a good while to come, that it won't be changing. So if you did get in now, it seems that this is where it'll be. Or I should bring this up and say that it seems that this is where it'll be. So that at least is a little bit of peace of mind. Again, the layers, and when you feel comfortable, you invest. And if you're not comfortable, then don't invest, because it is a lot. And when we look at some of these numbers here to get into it, it is a few bucks. You're looking at, for this one now with the price the way it is, it'd be about $218. If we put this all across here, we will see that this one will be about $1,100 to get into. Now your Thor node will cost you about $2,200, and if you wanted the Odin, you'll go down to about $13,000 for that one. So it is a little bit cheaper right now, but again, this is the one that I'm going for, and you don't know if Thor price is going to jump back up, and if it does, obviously to buy back into this is going to be a little more. So obviously yesterday was the day at like $141, would have been the best time to jump on that, but it is let's see if I was to do that Thor that I wanted. Yeah, 1762 would have been a lot less, a lot easier, but didn't have the extra money to do it, so I am going to have to save up to get that one. Anyway, y'all, I appreciate you checking in. You know I love those. I want to see the comments below. Do you have a Thor node? Did anybody find what the breakup is for the voting structure between the board and the node holders? And if you haven't subscribed, hit that button. You know where it is. I appreciate you all checking in. I hope this was informative. Like I said, if you do want to see that other video on how to buy a Thor node, I can make one up for there and put that up this weekend. Until then, appreciate you.